Hello guys, this is Champion Marks here for another Pokemon narrated Wi-Fi battle. That intro is awesome. Props to the Quick Bob Hero for making it for me. Go sub him now, or else you are you're just a fucking troll. Anyway, let's get this battle going. Now, we got something a little different here. We got a rotations battle this time versus a guy I met on the TPX chat whose name was MikeDecishere, I believe. But anyway, let's get started. Yeah, so he leads off with his Ropution, Mamoswine, and his Latios. Now, I lead off with my Drizzle Politoed, Give Me Kiss, Like a Boss, the Blastoise, and Tornado Bro, the Tornadus. I go into Tornadus because Roputions, they always give me problems in rotations because this team does like to throw around the status, and if Ropution gets a status, it proceeds to fuck shit up with Drain Punch. So I just go for the Hurricane and completely wreck Ropution. But it's not a Ropution, it's a Zoroark, and he told me it was supposed to have Focus Sash, so, you know, I guess that's just a mistake on his part. If he didn't have, if he did have the Focus Sash, I would have been completely screwed here, because I would have been, yeah, I probably would have been fucked up by Night Days, and I would have lost my Tornadus a lot earlier. But anyway, I'm predicting he's going to go into Mamoswine to try and kill me off with Ice Shard. He does go for the Ice Shard, so I switch into my Politoed to take it pretty handily, because Ice Shard, it's a nice move, doesn't affect waters doesn't hit waters for too much damage, plus this Politoed is rather bulky. Though I wasn't sure if he was either going to do that or go into his Latios to pull off some shenanigans, or maybe even stay in with his Gyarados for whatever stupid reason. So I just decided to go for the Toxic, because that would pretty much cripple anything on his team, or at least make sure that it would eventually die. Especially that Gyarados, because Gyarados is going to be a pretty big threat if it gets Dragon Dance up. But anyway, his Gyarados does come up in here, expecting I have no idea what, but I just decided to go for an Encore, predicting his Gyarados coming here in Dragon Dance now. That was a pretty good play on my part, but unfortunately, it's not really going to get me too far in this match. As a matter of fact, that Encore is going to hurt me more than it's going to help me, because, yeah, now that Gyarados is only going to come in when it wants Dragon Dances, so I'm going to have to try and predict that thing as well as I can to make sure it doesn't come out of that Encore with too many Dragon Dances, or that it dies before it even comes out of that Encore. And anyway, he comes into his Mamoswine thinking that I would go into my Tornadus, I guess, to try and get rid of his Gyarados before it got any more Dragon Dances, but I just stay in with Politoed, thinking I'd go for the Scald, try and get the burn on Gyarados if it tried to stay in, but he switches to Mamoswine, Mamoswine takes the Scald, in the rain, super effective, that's one dead Mamoswine. Yeah, so I believe that's a good 4-6 score right now for me, but, yeah, it's rotations. Shit can go down pretty quickly and change the match entirely. Anyway, I believe here he goes into his Heatran next. Now I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be as easy as hell to get rid of, because it's a Heatran and this is a rain team. It can handle Heatran pretty darn well. He decides to switch into his Latios, and I, for some retarded reason, thought that he would stay in with Heatran, even though obvious Scald. And he goes for Thunderbolt. Wait. Now I know why I stayed in, because everything else on my team would have died to Thunderbolt. And I didn't really want to risk switching into Tornadus, going for the Dark Pulse, and having him actually stay in with Heatran and fuck me over with I really don't know what. But anyway, go for the Scald, no burn. Not a huge deal, but, you know, it would have helped. But later in the match, not having the burn actually does prove beneficial. But anyway, I decided to switch into Boring and Ettore because it's OU and it's boring. It always runs the same freaking thing. Anyway, he predicts me to do something, I guess switch out, not wanting to take the Thunderbolt. That's what I do, so he gets another Dragon Dance up, and I'm like, crap, this thing's got 2 Dragon Dance ups, and it's only got 1 more turn to freaking Encore. So I gotta deal with this guy real quickly. I decided to switch into my Tornadus, go for the Hidden Power Electric, thinking he'd stay in for some reason, but he does switch into his Heatran. I probably should have switched into, I don't know, maybe go into my, Blastoise, go for the Dragon Tail, try and get rid of it, but it doesn't work that way. He switches into his Heatran, takes the Hidden Power Electric really well, and he gets the Hidden Power Ice off, and gets a crit. In his narration, he said the crit mattered. I really had no idea. I was just pissed off that I lost my Tornadus. I thought that Hidden Power Ice would kill anyway, plus, I honestly have to say I did not notice that it was a crit in the original match, but whatever. If it mattered, it really doesn't matter, because, you know, whatever. I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. I just go into my Latios, because I'm thinking it can wall his Heatran. Maybe I can force a switch into his Latios and get a Dragon Tail off, but it doesn't go down that way. He just decides to go for the Fire Blast, I guess predicting Ferrothorn to come in for some reason. And he gets the burn on me, which sucks because my Blastoise is mainly physical moves, and I also missed the Dragon Tail. So that was basically just a fuck you turn for me, because I didn't get to do shit, and I got a random burn just to add on to the misery. But anyway, yeah. Like a Boss is basically useless now, except for throwing out Toxic and Rain stalling, but yeah. My opponent decides to switch into their Latios, and I believe they go for the Duraco Meteor, as, yeah, I switch into my Ferrothorn, predicting that he would go for the, excuse me, for the Draco Meteor, maybe the Thunderbolt, or switch it, or have his Heatran go for, I have no idea what, but whatever. I just go for the Leech Seed, thinking it'd be a good idea to get it on anything that he has. Heatran is really bulky, getting a Leech Seed on it would be fine. Latios, want to get rid of this thing as quickly as possible because it's fast and powerful, and Gyarados only has a couple more turns of, well, only one turn of Encore left, so getting that Leech Seed on it would be a little helpful, because I don't want it getting out of that Encore with +3 and nothing else on it that would hinder it or something. Here, I thought he'd stay in for some retarded reason and go for Toxic with my Blastoise, I believe. And he switches out into his Robution, and I'm like, well, fuck, this is the exact situation I was trying to avoid on the first turn when he had his Zoroark out on the front, and yeah, I went for Hurricane on it, but now his Robution's out here, and it has Guts, just like I didn't want it to have in the beginning of the match. So yeah, basically, I proceed now to attempt to stall this Robution, because, yeah, really have nothing that can take a hit from it, even though I could probably just go into something to try and kill it, throw a hit in its face, but honestly, I don't want to take that Guts-boosted Drain Punch, and in his narration he also said that it was banded, so yeah, that Drain Punch is going to do a shit ton, even to my Latios with its max defense and the natural resistance to fighting because of its Psychic type. So yeah, I'm basically just using Substitute and the Protect on all the Pokemon on my team to try and get rid of this thing, because it is a really big problem right now. Here, I believe I switch into Like a Boss, the Blastoise, because I don't know why I didn't go for the Protect. I should have, but I just try to go for the Waterfall Flinch. I'm like, come on, flinch, flinch. No! And my Blastoise dies. But it didn't matter too much. I was burned. I couldn't do much damage. I may have been able to get the Dragon Tail on his Leviathan Gyarados, but, you know, yeah, Blastoise is dead. Enough said. But here I just go into my Politoed. No, wait. No, I believe I go into my Goravis here, because I want to try and kill this Rokution, and while the battle was still going, I quickly checked up on Cerebi to see what the base speed of Rokution and Goravis was, to see if I could actually outspeed Rokution and kill it, and hope that it wouldn't go for Mach Punch, but it's banded, so it's not going to, and yeah. Thankfully, Goravis has, like, I think 9 base speed more than Rokution or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, his Toxic is really starting to rack up. He's at about half right now. So here, oh wait, I just decided to go into my Latias to try and get another sub up, because I actually do want to keep a sub for his Gyarados, because if it gets out of that Encore with all 3 Dragon Dances and is still alive, it's going to be a problem, and I'm going to need that substitute to take care of it, so a Pokemon of mine can actually live a hit from it. But anyway, he hits my sub with a Drain Punch, gets some HP back, because, yeah, you can get HP back from subs, unfortunately. And now his toxic is really starting to rack up. He's going to be taking about a quarter or more from toxic damage. Although I don't really feel like stalling this guy out for much longer because his drain punches have already put a hole big enough in my team. I just decided to switch out and go to my Gorbis because on research that I did, it is faster than no speed investment Ropution or even max speed investment Ropution because my Gorbis is not the normal Gorbis. It actually prefers to, instead of Shell Smash and pass, it prefers to Shell Smash and then be a greedy little bitch and keep it for itself to sweep the opponent's team, because that's how it works in rotations. Go for the Surf. His Gyarados gets out of the Encore, I believe, on that turn, if I'm not mistaken, and that's not really good for me, but at least I think like a third of its health gone with one Surf, which is pretty impressive for Resist, but he switches into his Ropution, I guess trying to get the Drain Punch off, thinking maybe I was a bulky set, but I'm not. I'm full offensive, and now he switches back into his Gyarados. I'm scared of the Thunderbolt from Latios, so I switch out, and I believe his Gyarados goes for another Dragon Dance just to, just be greedy. But I do manage to get a Leech Seed off on this guy, which is good because I'm going to need residual damage on this thing to get rid of it, because nothing on my team is faster than it, especially when it's at +4 speed. And at +4 attack, really, taking a hit from this guy is not something I'm going to be able to do. But anyway, I do believe here, for some retarded reason, he decides to switch into his Heatran. I guess he really just wanted to get rid of my Ferrothorn, but if you wanted to get rid of my Ferrothorn so badly, I would have stayed in with Gyarados and gone for the Earthquake, because at +4, even Torre, or Ferrothorn, being the defense bulky monster that it is, can't really take the Earthquake. But anyway, I was hoping he would be greedy, go for another Dragon Dance, but he doesn't. He switches into his Heatran, go for the Fire Blast, try and get rid of Ferrothorn. I go for Hidden Power Electric because my Gorbis has the Hidden Power Electric because it's offensive. And it really doesn't do a lot to his Heatran, just like the last Hidden Power Electric I threw at it. Here, I switch into my Latios because I wanted to get that free sub up. I was predicting, I don't know, maybe an Earth Power or Fire Blast again for some reason, but he goes for Flash Cannon. I do manage to get my free sub off because he is faster than me, which is good, because now I have the one thing that I'm going to need to be able to get rid of that Gyarados, and that is my free sub. But anyway, now I'm thinking for some reason he's going to stay in with his Heatran. I thought he'd go for the Hidden Power Ice again, so I switch into my Gorbis, try and get a Shell Smash off. I don't know why I wanted to get the Shell Smash off. For some reason, I thought I'd be faster than Gyarados, but even if I did get the Shell Smash off, he'd have twice the speed boost that I do. But in the end, it doesn't matter because he just ends the whole shenanigans there by getting another crit. Ugh. Yeah, the hacks just wasn't with me in this match, but in the end, it really doesn't matter. I just go into my Politoed. He goes for an Earth Power with his Heatran, because I guess he just doesn't want his Heatran to stay alive. I guess he's just leaving it in for Death Water or something. He goes for the Earth Power. I am Special Defense Beast, as Politoed is, and just go for the Skull, then kill him because his Earth Power did not kill me. And in the rain, super effective. Heatran's not going to live that. And here, he just goes into his Gyarados, I believe. I should have gone for the Protect. That would have been the better move, just to get Leech Seed damage on the Gyarados, but for some reason it didn't click in my mind to go for the Protect, and he just smacks me in the face with a Waterfall. But I do get crucial information here that his Gyarados is, in fact, a Life Orber. And that is very good to know, because without that Life Orb, he more than likely would have swept my team, because he wouldn't have been taking the damage from it. I see that he has Moxie, and I'm just shitting myself even more, because now he's got +4 speed and +5 attack. He decides to go for the Waterfall instead of switching out to his Latios to take out my sub and take the Dragon Pulse. And I'm glad that he didn't do that, because that means that I get rid of the hugest threat that I've probably ever faced, because he just breaks my sub, and I get off my free Dragon Pulse, and Gyarados is dead. Yay. So basically now, it's my Latias versus his Latios, and my Ferrothorn. I'm thinking pretty much now I've got the match sealed, because even if his Latios does have Hidden Power Fire or Fighting, Ferrothorn is a beast and can take it, get a Leech Seed off on it, and stall it out with Protect and Toxic. He goes for the Surf because he's just trying to use the Rain boost against me to try and get rid of my Latias. I don't know why I decided to stay in, I just guess wanted to die, and plus I was thinking, maybe because I'm bulky, whatever he'd throw at me aside from Draco Meteor wouldn't kill. I thought, you know, maybe he'd go for Draco just to, I don't know, be stupid, but he is smart, goes for the Rain Boosted Surf here. It's Ferrothorn versus Latios to finish the match. He's going to go for the Hidden Power, I'm guessing Fire, because if it was Hidden Power Fighting, it probably would have done more, because Hidden Power Fire is, yeah, it's weakened by the rain. But now I get my Leech Seed off. Basically, that seals the end of the match, because with Leech Seed plus Leftovers and Protect to get me even more Leech Seed and Leftovers, there's no way that he's going to be able to kill me off that Hidden Power Fire, as long as I stay with more than 50% of my HP for the next couple of turns. I go for the Protect, get more Leech Seed, Leftovers back. He's just spamming the Hidden Power Fire, hoping for a crit, but the match is basically over now, so yeah. Good game, Mike Dez is here. It was really awesome. Rotations is insane. I mean, seriously, this is like singles, but with 27 different levels of prediction added in, so yeah. If you're looking for something that's not just standard OU singles and it's really interesting, I recommend trying out some rotations. Really awesome. But anyway, comment, rate, sub, guys, and I guess I'll see you later.